So if you want to get Chris Pine and Ben Foster in a movie and still make less than average, subpar movie, how would you do that? What would be the main thing you would do to make that happen? The best thing you could probably do would be to get the producer for movies like John Wick, Sicario, Greenland, and get him to direct said movie. Said movie would be The Contractor. That's right, guys, I am back with yet another review. This one is for a movie called The Contractor, which we are going to get into super quick because I'm probably not going to waste too much time on this one. But my name is Kevin Halden. This is Nerdly Out Loud, the official channel of nerdly.co.uk, your favourite British website for all of your news, reviews, and exclusive interviews. We like to cover everything from the big budget to the low budget to the no budget with a special keen interest, a keen eye on the lower end of the scale. It's where my heart lives and it's where it lies. But I deceived my heart, I went against my brain, and I decided to check out a new Amazon original movie because Chris Pine was in it, Ben Foster was in it, two of my favorites. They are both up there. Chris Pine is wonderful when he's on point. He's wonderful, but Ben Foster is just an underrated, just genius. These guys have worked together before in movies like Hell or High Water, Finest Hours. They've worked together before, and it has worked before. This movie, it did not work. But we'll talk about that in a quick hot second. I need you to do all of those amazing things because we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're on like 850 or 845 or something like that. It'll keep going down the more I say it. But we are getting there. We are on a mad push. I'm trying to get us to that wonderful number, which is 1K followers, which to me is a lot. To most people out there, probably ain't shit. But to me, it's a lot. So I want to get there, and please do help us. So hit that like, hit that subscribe, and ding that notification bell. Let people know all about the channel. We're going to go into this, The Contractor. I need to talk about this film, get some stuff on my chest, and then I can just go on to the next one. So let's do it. You know the drill by now. We are going to talk about the plot of this movie. Probably won't waste too much time on that. We're going to talk about the cast and characters of this movie. Not that many of them, so we won't waste too much time on that. We'll talk about what I did and what I didn't like. That's a mixed bag. And then we will get into my final rating of this movie. It is just my rating. It's not the rating of nerdly.co.uk. However, on this case, they will probably take my rating because it means they won't have to watch this movie. So in a nutshell, this movie is Chris Pine as James Harper, a US Special Forces sergeant. He's pretty awesome. He's been on loads of missions. We get told about loads of them all the way through the movie. He saves people's lives left, right, and center. And now he's like a drug addict who needs to take the drugs to numb the pain of years of being in the service, which I'm not making light of that situation. Believe me, I'm not. But the way they deal with it in this movie, the tropey way they deal with it in this movie is kind of making light of it. I'm not doing that because I have all the utmost respect for that kind of thing. They gloss over it so blasé at the start of this movie till he gets discharged, and then we're going to crack on with the film. So once he's discharged, he starts to realize that, you know what, he needs to find a job that's going to pay the bills. There's not many jobs out there that pay the bills, especially not jobs that pay the bills the way they used to. So he kind of gets drawn into the private contracting realm. That's when he meets Ben Foster. Ben Foster, one of my favourite actors, slamming it in this movie. Not doing a whole damn. Really didn't seem like he gave much of a crap about what he was doing, but still probably putting it, still definitely putting in the best performance of this movie. So they kind of like join forces, they go and do a mission. They don't really know what the mission is because that is the element of private contracting. I guess you don't really know what the mission is, but it's not at all what they thought it was. Ben Foster gets what seems like he might have been killed, and then Chris Pine then realizes that he's been betrayed by the people that sent him on the job, so now he's in a fight for his life behind enemy lines, yo. And that's the movie. That's the movie. He's behind enemy lines, he's trying to get back to America. He finds out when he does get back to America that things aren't quite what they seem. Ben Foster's not actually dead, spoiler. I mean, you see that coming a mile off. It turns out that the thing that they thought they were going to get, they thought it was some sort of like poison that could like kill hundreds of millions of people. Turns out it could actually save hundreds. There's some sort of like pandemic thing in there. Like, I think it's kind of riding the coattails of COVID. I don't know, because I don't know when the movie was made. But there's like this little thing about that. There's really not a lot else I can say. Let's just talk about the cast and the crew. Chris Pine is in the movie. He probably wishes he'd been reverse Wonder Woman 84, where somebody else had came into his body and done this movie, but he hasn't. He's definitely in this movie. And you know what? I feel like I'm being harsh, because he is trying to give a bit of a performance here. He's doing his best. But the thing is, we've seen him play this character. This character is basically like a little bit more of an action hero. He's a little bit more actiony than Jack Ryan. He is basically playing Jack Ryan, who goes out in the field, only this time he's meant to go out in the field, and that happens. So he's playing Jack Ryan, let's be honest. Ben Foster may as well be Mark Wahlberg. May as well be. He's not, but he may as well be, because that's the kind of character he's playing. Ben Foster is definitely giving the better performance, though. Like, you kind of get this feeling that as a character, he's been through some gnarly shit. He's been through some stuff that he's not quite got over, and that's why he's a little bit disillusioned with everything that's going on. And that's why he's fallen in tow with Master Shitheel Kiefer Sutherland. I never, ever thought I would get to the point of my life where Kiefer Sutherland just isn't doing it for me. Huge 24 fan. I believe I've said that before. In fact, I probably said it on the last video because Dennis Haysbert was in that movie. Huge 24 fan. Huge Kiefer Sutherland fan. He is not doing much in this movie of anything. And the things he does do, I mean, Jesus! Oh, let's just get into what I did and didn't like, because I need to get out of here. I am going to start with what I didn't like, which is very unlike me, because I normally like to be positive. But there's not a lot of positives here. This movie is tropey as hell. It's cheesy as sin. It's obvious as anything. Like, you know what's coming the second he tells Ben Foster to get himself home, to get himself to the drop point, and then I'll get myself out of here in the dead of night, and I'll use all my stuff, and I'll have flashbacks to when I was a kid, and my trauma's going to come. And again, I'm really not making light of that situation. I know it's a thing, and I fully respect that people go through that. But this movie's just so ham-fistedly in your face, trying to ram it down your throat, that it pissed me off. It actually pissed me off. There's ways to do it. This movie doesn't do it well. And when it does do it well, there is a scene where it does it superbly. It's too late by that point. And I'll tell you this scene. He meets Ben Foster again. He realizes he's still alive. He tails him into this multi-story car park. Ben Foster knows that he's being tailed, but he doesn't realize that it's Chris Pine. The two of them have this interaction. This amazing, amazing interaction. Two wonderful actors who always work well together. Again, watch Hell or High Water. Way better movie. They work beautifully together. They always work well together. And in this scene, they work beautifully together. And it is about the PTSD. It is about what they've been through together. It is about their checkered past. And that scene, it comes way too late in the movie, because by this point, I'm already reading my phone. I'm already thinking about next week's Raw. I'm already out of the movie. It just comes too late because the movie's that bloody boring. But when you get that scene, it's a beautiful scene. It's a great scene. It's well written. It's well acted. It's excellent. Excellent scene. So I guess that's what I do like about this. Everything else, it's colored bubbles. It's just there. It's just on the screen to be seen, and that's all I can say positive about it. Honestly, I just want to get out of here, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to skip right into my final rating of this movie. I said at the start, it's a bang average movie, it's a subpar movie. It is literally a 2 out of 5 for me. It has moments where it could have been something great. It does have those moments, but the moments are few and far between. That one scene is probably why I'm giving it a 2, because I did love that scene. It's two actors who know how to act, acting their balls off. So yes, you get props for that scene. That's probably where the 2-star comes from. The director of this movie, Tarek Salah, I don't know if I need to see anything else you've done. I will do my due diligence, and I will check out other stuff, and I will see what else you've made, and I'll check it out. but I'm not really going to go into it with that much hopes. Maybe that's the best way to go into one of these movies. But it's an Amazon Prime movie. I did notice that Chris Pine has another Amazon Prime movie. Maybe this was some sort of like, right, we're coming out of the pandemic. Let's make 3 movies on the bounce. Let's get Chris Pine in there. It might be one of those situations. I really don't know. I really don't care. For me, this is a 2 out of 5. This is probably the most negative I have been towards a movie in a while. And that upsets me because it's Chris Pine, it's Ben Foster, and it's Kiefer Sutherland. I mean, the end, the compound scene, the inevitable compound scene, because they have to go and get the big bad Kiefer Sutherland. And Kiefer Sutherland's got like the shotgun. You don't even really see him get shot, but he dies. And I'm sat there like, what the hell happened? Like, it's dark. There's not a lot going on. And it's like, I don't actually know how he's dead now. I think Ben Foster shot him before he shot Ben Foster, but I'm not entirely sure. If you've got spare time to kill, and I mean, this is a 1 hour and 43-minute movie, I guess you could spend it worse ways. Maybe. But I wouldn't bother. I would just skip this one completely, unless you're really into that gung-ho, hoorah, US Special Agents thing, US Special Forces thing. And a lot of people are. It's kind of what made me want to watch this movie, because I love those movies. Like, I'm one of those people that is like, I'm one of those rare people who really like 13 Hours in Benghazi. Like, I genuinely thought that movie was good. I loved Greenland, which is why I kind of fell into this trap. Sicario's a great movie. You know, Columbiana. I love all those movies. So I kind of thought this was going to be one of them. But it's just like Jack Ryan with a little bit more action and a little bit less story. Wow, that's not a good mix. It might as well have been a Michael Bay movie. Wow, that's really not a good mix. But anyway, I'm going to go. Please do all those wonderful things, and that is hit that like, hit that subscribe, and ding that notification bell. I will be back with more reviews, more interviews, and more stuff incoming. We've got loads of content coming. The Big Boss Man, Phil Wheat, is going to be dropping some content, I am told. I'm looking forward to seeing what he comes up with. And yeah, just skip the Contractor, move on to your next movie. I'm done. I'm going to bed. I've had enough. So 2 out of 5. If you see it, you see it. Let me know what you thought of it. Drop a comment and we will talk about it. I'm all about discussion. I'm just not watching this again. And I'm not really sure you should. So I'm going to go. Bye.